At a press conference last week, the former guy said that immigrants were raping American citizens, including children, at never-before-seen levels. Now, this, of course, isn't new, right? He never stopped talking that way about immigrants. But what is new this time is that he's not even trying to defend the truthfulness of his statements anymore. He doesn't give citations, statistics, nada. His running mate even told CNN that if he has to create stories so that the American media actually pays attention, then that's what he's gonna do. Do you want to know why they do this? As usual, the reasons go right back down to slavery. Hey, I'm Angela, I'm a professor, I wrote this book on slavery, and my videos are about how pretty much everything awful in this world can be traced right back down to that awful institution, including this garbage that Trump and Vance are spouting about immigrants, right? The reason why Trump and Vance say these things is because dehumanizing brown and especially Black immigrants is a highly effective political tool. It's a great way to get some white votes. He also used Nazi language in that same press conference when he said that immigrants were, quote, poisoning the blood of our country. Now, people did call him out on this, but what a lot of people didn't say was where that Nazi language originally came from. It came from us. Came from Southern enslavers. In fact, most anti-Semitic stuff that came out of Nazi Germany was originally borrowed from our Southern enslavers. You see, after emancipation, it was former enslavers who enacted that Jim Crow segregation legislation down here. They were so worried about white blood being diluted that they made the one-drop rule. The rule stated that anyone that had even one drop of African blood would be legally Black, and therefore unable to claim the rights of a white person, even if they were white passing. And that's really powerful, right? For white people who could bear children, it could be scary to think that Blackness could be conferred onto their child if they picked a Black partner, or worse, if they had a child as the result of rape. Never mind, for most of the hundreds of years that our country was here, Black men were too afraid to look at white women in the eye for most of America's history because of exactly this, because too often it resulted in an unaliving. And of course, for white men, this is really powerful because it plays on the fear that their women, right, their women, should be reserved for them, but are instead going to Black people or immigrants, right? Because remember, racists are often sexists. If you think of Black people as objects, you tend to see women as objects as well. Our elites wanted to create a society that was invested in maintaining separateness. They did that by making white people afraid of losing white privileges for centuries. Even now, a lot of white people don't want to be treated like Black people, right? So when the right-wing electoral candidate begins talking about grape, many white people will still listen.